part owner and vice president of Platinum Marketing Group. He earned an associate degree from Edmonds Community College while incarcerated at Twin Rivers Correctional Facility in Monroe, Washington. Robert went on to earn a bachelor's degree in arts in organizational leadership from Brandon University and is currently pursuing a master's in education. He is currently a program manager B at Pierce College and a past recipient of the Alan Spence Scholarship Award. Robert is a past graduate of the Social Justice Leadership Institute at Bellevue College. He serves on the faculty and staff of Cuther Planning Committee to support the efforts of staff and faculty of Cuther in higher education. He has received various certificates and awards throughout his career. He studied business management at the University of Phoenix. He served in the U.S. Armed Forces. And he has a formal work experience as a human resource manager at Mostly Muffins and a corporate recruiter at the Seattle Times. He is also a trained facilitator for Dependable Strengths and is an accomplished speaker, trainer, workshop designer, and presenter. In 2017, Robert wrote and published 2 books, No Time Like the Present and When Leadership Matters. Robert resides in Tacoma, Washington with his wife and 4 children, where he is active as a board member for Lighthouse Storehouse and the pastor of New Beginnings Church located in downtown Tacoma, Washington. Please welcome Robert Britton.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my distinct honor and privilege to stand before you as a presenter to celebrate your accomplishments. Your accomplishments are great. I thank Don and the TRIO team and all of you for giving me this opportunity to pour into you some intentional words. And because I wish to be intentional about what I say, my expectation is that you be intentional about what you do with what you hear. And your intentionality will take root in the things that you do from this point forward. As a writer, I began to think about what is it that I want to say to you. And part of my process was to write a piece of poetry for you. And so this piece of poetry is called My Space. I need my space to grow and to achieve and be active. In fact, my space needs space so that I can be responsive to life and not reactive to it. My fullest potential is realized when I have space, open space, so that I can find meaning in the steps I've taken to develop the courage and live in my passion. In my space, I fight like no other. I live like no other, and I thrive like no other. I need my space, but my space also needs me, because I feel the void that my space lacks when I'm not feeling and experiencing all that I can truly be. In my space, I am poetic justice, I am retributive justice, and I am social justice. I offer the world a glimpse into my living, and I expose my lived experiences to a chosen few, so that others may grow and have the opportunity to find grace in their trauma, forgiveness in their heartache, and survival in their struggle. My space gives me space to exist, so I create this space for me. My space is more than a placeholder for my life. It is more than the things I do to earn a living. It is more than the life I live. My space is fresh air. In my space, I don't exist, I live. I thrive. In my space, there is confidence, tenacity, and a fierce competitive nature that apologizes to no one because of who I am and who I've become. In my space, I thrive. So I give myself not only permission, but I give myself space to truly be. Thank you. As graduates, as TRIO graduates, as the first in your family, some of you are the first in your neighborhood, some of you are the first in your community to achieve a higher education. And while this has been difficult thus far, don't stop your journey 5 minutes before your miracle happens. Because you need to go further than what you've already gone. What you've done has already been miraculous. What you've achieved have already been great, but there's still yet greater to come. You must dare to enter into that space and be more than even you think you can become. Because this is where the rubber hits the road. And when it does, you will skyrocket into unknown territories. Territory that will sometimes be fearful and cause you to be afraid of the next step. But because you're in a race, the hardest part is not starting the race, the hardest part is finishing. So keep on striving. Your beginning is still yet before you. When I look at the opportunities to serve and the opportunities to impart wisdom and impart words of grace, the thing that we often do and look in others is to forgive them for their shortcomings and to forgive them for how they've hurt us, forgive them for how they've mistreated us, forgive them for how they've abused us. But I want to tell you that there's one more person you need to forgive, and that's yourself. Always find the courage to forgive yourself and not be overly judgmental of where you've been. Because like it said in my bio, I was in the penitentiary when I received my Associate of Arts degree. And you don't think that was hard? It was hard because the difficulties before you will compel you and propel you into higher heights. And now I stand before you today as a person that is accomplished in many areas of life. Not so that I can be puffed up in pride, but so that you can see what the possibilities of your future holds for you, regardless of how difficult it is today. You can and you will. I was speaking to your director yesterday, and we were talking about this season and being a sower of seeds. And when you sow seeds in due season, they will produce a fruit. And I want you to know that you're in a vineyard where you can go and pick the fruit that you desire. Because the world is here for you. The world is the fruit and the thing that you've cast your seeds upon. And now look what has come forth. You have been given birth. And in your birth, there is a new life, a new opportunity, a new chance, a new dynamic. The question becomes, what are you willing to do beyond where you stand today? And when you become willing to do more and be more and accomplish more, you do more. And that's a decision that's solely up to you. I want you to do me a favor and look to the person to your right and say congratulations. Look to the person to your left and say congratulations. And that's important because I want you to remember this moment. And that part of your journey requires you to celebrate the accomplishments of those around you. Celebrate those at the table with you. Because there will be times in your life when you feel isolated. And you feel like you're going through your process alone. But recall this moment where you have someone who is just like you, celebrating what you've accomplished. And so get into the habit of celebrating what you've done. Other people may not recognize it. Other people may not see your greatness, but as long as you see your greatness and you acknowledge what you've done, great things happen. Because once you're encouraged, so often we give people encouragement, but we don't always inspire them. And so I'm hoping today that what is being said in this space not only encourages you, but inspires you to do something greater. Greater than yesterday. Because now everyone is looking at you. Family members are looking at you because you're the first. Communities are looking at you because you're the first. Children are looking at you because you're the first. And now because you're the first, there will be those who will follow you. be ready for what's to come. Because this is truly your beginning. And when you embrace your beginning, the next steps become easier and easier. And so today I celebrate you. I celebrate your accomplishments because there is nothing greater than man and woman acknowledging who they are and accepting the reality of who they are and then moving on to greater, moving on to higher. Your next phase is only your next beginning. So don't give up 5 minutes before your miracle happens. Even though it's tough. There's an old saying that Les Brown said that if it's hard, do it hard. And so I want you today to recognize that there is no obstacle in life that you cannot overcome. Look at what you've already done. And look at how easy you made it look. So now keep striving. Keep driving the bus that you are in so that your accomplishments, your accolades, your successes are yours to celebrate every day of your life. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Robert Britton. Great job.